Thank you, Roopa, for joining us for the inaugural episode of Breaking Barriers and Building Wealth, a unique platform for MFDs to share their experiences on how they have acquired women investors and to help MFDs on how they can deal with their women clients in a better format. So we'll get straight into the questions. And my first question for you is that, Rupa, in December 2022, we had about 75 lakh women investors in the mutual fund industry, which only constitutes for about 20% of the entire investor base. How do you think can we bring in more women clients into the mutual fund industry?
Thank you, Anita. Thank you for inviting me on this very empowering topic that I always have felt all my life. Uh, my experience with dealing with women has been very unique for the reason because women have a unique preferences, the concerns and priorities, as compared to what the male clients have. That is basically because of the women are innately they wanted to be secured for themselves, for their families, and for uh, the children and the entire gamut of things, because that's where they are and that's what women are inbound. They have an innate capacity to do that. But what happens is saying that over the period, society has bifurcated that generations to generations, saying that money has to be managed by men and the household has to be managed by the woman. But people don't realize saying that women manage home, that also has to be related to money, because every man allocates a certain amount of money to the women of the house, which is our grandmothers and mothers, and even today a lot of their sisters and everyone. But imagine saying that they all manage that. They don't come and ask you saying that, "Ki, this month I had so many guests more, so many people more, so I have spent more." They manage everything with this. So it's all about managing money, managing the resources, and they have been wonderful. And I think women have that within them. It is just that they have not 100% taken it, because most of them want peace in the house, and they don't want to get into that arena. But the numbers that you said about saying that 20% of the investors are women is also not because they are managing themselves. It is because their husbands, their brothers, or their parents have opened an account and are investing through them. So if you actually take women themselves managing the money, that percentage is very small. There is a recent survey which is done by DBS and CRISIL, and it says that at least in the metros, 47% of the women feel they manage their money on their own. People who are working, 47%. But most of them are very conservative, and they want to get into the traditional kind of businesses, which investments, which could be fixed deposits, which could be gold or other asset class. Uh, that's because that's the way they are. But if you approach them, okay, and speak to them and bring them that simple thing, saying that your money in fixed deposits and gold and all doesn't appreciate to take care of the inflationary expenses that's going to happen. And if you explain them in a very simple understanding language, they are very, very open to moving their investments into other asset class, which is equities or mutual funds or any other financial avenues that you showed them. Thing is, what I have experienced is saying that use no jargons, be very simple, be approachable to make them understand, and they are open to absolutely understanding what they need. And we need to respect them, because that's where it's very important, saying that you need to have that empathy. And we also need to have that alertness to establish that strength and the trust with them. Once you do that, and I think it's very, very easy to make them understand, and they are long-term investors, and they're very patient investors. Their expectation of return is very, very, not that they want very high returns. Once they understand, but the biggest thing is you have to approach them rather than you expecting them to approach you. So it's something that we have to constantly move away from our offices on the streets, on the ground, to touch base with them and see that how we can convert them and talk to them.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.